Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to an epic episode of Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, guys? Hey, I'm very excited for this episode today. I have I got a super cool little thing here for you. You know, I've often told you guys before, in fact, I've told many of you this before, that, I've created a lot of info products now in my life. I've seen a lot of offers. One of the things that I teach is offer creation, right? With ClickFunnels. And I am one of the coaches for their new 2 Comma Club coaching program. It's a program that I helped launch about a little over a year ago. And I was the only coach, and I had 675 students, and I was the only coach. And my job was to go through all of their offers with them, help them create a very sexy and attractive offer based on the person they were trying to sell, and get them out there making money for a lot of them for the first time in their life. And we had tons of awesome success stories from that. We had people make anywhere from, their first $1,000 to $6 million, right? Lots of stuff. And I had a chance to, anyway, so the only reason I'm bringing this up is it makes me sound like that makes me feel like I'm really egotistical. What I'm trying to say is, after going through so many of these people, right, and after I've had a whole bunch of people come to the Secret MLM Hacks program, after I've had another group of like 600 or 700 people come in to do it again, right, I'm coming up on like a lot of people that I've done this with, okay? And I had the opportunity to do that again this morning for several hours with some students, and kind of one-on-one with them, and go through and help figure out part of what it is they're actually selling. And there's some things that I always run into people. There's some roadblocks that I always see people will run into. And doing that many times, it's hard not to notice the patterns, right? So I thought what I'd do for this episode is kind of share with you one of the patterns. It's so extremely simple. Okay, it is so extremely simple, but it ends up being like their entire business plan. I don't know if you guys have ever created a business plan before, in the sense that school usually has you go through it. Like when I was in business school, right? We'd write these massive like 15, 20 page business plans, and like, I don't know, there was still like no plan on how to actually, anyway, right? What I want to share with you today is, in my mind, one of the easiest ways to sidestep having to go through this massive business plan writing, right? I think business plans, in the sense that they're taught, are like usually pure garbage, right? Unless you need massive cash for like some VC funding, which I'm also very against, because in my mind, if you got something of worth, if you got something that's actually solving problems for people, like, you don't always need VC funding. I know that that will cause some polarities. I say that, but that's okay. I actually am very against VC funding. Very few scenarios I can ever think of where someone should actually get it. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to walk through just real quick, just a very simple process to figure out what your business actually is. Okay, and what is it doing? So you're thinking about your MLM, right? You're thinking about your downline. There's several aspects to it, right? Number one, you are selling people into your opportunity itself, right? That's great. Absolutely love it. I've got some cool systems to do that for me. We just passed our 200th person applying to join my downline. Someone I never met before, right? That's amazing, okay? That's what I teach inside Secret MLM Hacks. If you guys have never heard of that yet or had a chance to see it, go check it out. It's had a chance to bless a lot of lives, actually. It's been really fun. I've had a lot of cool success stories in there. It's been a lot of fun. Right, the other avenue, though, other business avenue that you've got is this area where you're selling your MLM's actual product, right? And I have a system for eventually getting people to both, but at the beginning, I only focus on one or the other, okay? I'm only selling the product, or I'm only selling the opportunity. At the end, they promote each other, but not at the beginning. I lead with one or the other, okay? Anyway, so here's the framework. This is how I do what I do, and this is the framework that I use for people to go through and get more clear on who it is that they're selling. You see, one of the things that I ran into early on inside this business is, a lot of you guys know, I wanted to be successful in MLM so bad that I walked down Main Street. Okay, I was so, my pride was on the line, and you might actually be the same. where you have a whole bunch of people who's been telling you, oh, is this just another one of those things again? Right? And that hurt my pride, right? That made me feel like I was an idiot. That made me feel like I had nothing. You most likely have had something like that happen to you. I mean, I don't know anyone who's in business who's actually successful, who's actually never had a naysayer. You know what I mean? We all have them. We all have them, right? And I was feeling it hard. Right. And this was 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And I wanted this to be successful so bad that I literally was walking down Main Street pitching people. Right. And I would walk down and be like, hey, and my pitch was bad and I didn't know what I was doing and I was fumbling through it. And I went through and I was getting people. I was like, come on, like you should buy this. This is so cool. Right. I didn't know what I was doing. Right. And I got some people that said yes. And I had a ton of people that said no. Right. And I ended up recruiting a lot of people. Well, one of the issues that I ran into, which you most likely have run into as well, is I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I worked my butt off. I was literally walking down Main Street. I recruited some businesses. I did recruit some friends and family. I did recruit some total strangers, right? It wasn't that many. This was the first time I'd ever done anything in MLM ever, at that time. And I was I really, really did not want to fail at this. I felt like I had failed at so many things before, which now in hindsight makes me realize that's what actually led to all the success, which has been so cool. But it's hard to see that when you're in the middle of it, right? And you most likely have been there as well. You might be right now. In fact, I was looking at some old pictures. I was looking at some old pictures of when my wife and I got married, and we had hardly any money. And it was 3 weeks into our marriage, and it was Christmas time. And we had no money, and we were so poor, guys. I literally took a piece of like butcher paper and I thumbtacked it to our wall, and it was totally empty in there because we had no money for furniture. And I literally took a Crayola crayon and I drew a fireplace next to our tree that was like a foot tall. Okay. And we put it on this little stand so it was a little bit taller. And then we put like, a present or two underneath from each other. These are like, you know what I mean? Like this is the cherishing moments you remember, at the beginning of marriage when you just got nothing, Anyway, we really had nothing, and I really, really wanted to make this work. And I felt like I'd been trying tons of stuff and nothing had been happening, nothing had been working. And like externally, yes, that's the thing that I really, really wanted. Internally though, it was a pride issue. Like, I can do this, I really wanted to prove it. I can do this. I can totally. This is something that I can go do, right? Look at me like a provider. Look at me. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that we've all had that kind of feeling before. I really, right? It's something that really affected me to feel like I wasn't. Women get their identity primarily by the way they make a home, right? A lot of studies have shown that. Men get their identity and their sense of self-worth by their occupation, right? And so for a man to go through and say, I can't provide, like really detrimentally hurts their insides, right? And so I was feeling that. And so anyways, I'm walking around and I was so stoked because that first month after walking down Main Street and doing all this stuff, and those of you guys who have been on the free like Secret MLM Hacks training, secretmlmhacks.com if you guys want to check it out. But if you guys have been on it, you've heard the story, right? And I was so excited. I got those first 13 people in that first month. I think it was like 5 weeks, but whatever. It was like 13 people, right? And I was so pumped. And what's funny is nobody did anything. But that's not what my thought was. I was like, oh my gosh, look at all this. It's going to be crazy. This is going to be so cool. If that person gets 13, that person gets 13, that person, oh my gosh. Like the biggest problem we're going to have is like, what do we do with all this money? Like I'm going to blow my nose in 20s now. Oh my gosh, what private island should I buy, right? And that was like, right, that was my mentality. At the time, that's what I was thinking anyway, and I was like shocked. I was appalled that no one did anything. I was like, do you not see? Can you not see? Can you not see the opportunity that we have in front of us? I was like, what's going on? Okay, fast forward 5 years. Fast forward to now, right? Where there are people applying I've never met before. In fact, a ton of them by the hundreds now. Right? I've got cool systems that are out there. It's the exact same thing I teach inside Secret MLM Hacks, the exact same thing I teach for my personal downline, right? It's what I do, right? And it works incredibly well. Well, what changed? This is what changed. And this is what I walk people through when I'm coaching them, okay? And when I say this, do not dismiss it, okay? Because even if you've heard what I'm about to say, I guarantee you may not have heard it in the way that I have, that I'm about to teach this, okay? number one, you have got to figure out who your dream customer is, not who you could be selling to. That's one of the biggest problems we all run into, right? As entrepreneurs, we see the solutions we offer. We see the value that we deliver out there. And we start saying phrases like, well, that person could buy it and this person could buy it. Let's say you're selling water machines. I had somebody literally walk up to me once and they were selling water machines. And I was like, who do you sell to? They're like, well, everybody needs water. So I'm selling everybody. I was like, okay, that's the definition of nobody, right? Right? I'm not talking about who could you sell to. I'm saying who is your dream customer, the laydown sale, the person that's so easy to sell to, you barely have to open your mouth. And they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I want that. And they pay premium price to do so, right? That's who you want to sell to. That's who you want on your team, okay? Identify the dream person and you put them down, your dream client. You write them down and you bring that person to life. And you sit down and you start thinking, you know what? I want a person who's already done something in business before. You know, I want to do something. I want the person in who's not afraid to talk to people, so I don't have to deal with that issue anymore. You know what I want? Or, you know, like if you're recruiting, or let's say you're selling product. Let's say I don't know. Let's say you're selling keto products are big right now, right? Let's say, you know, I want to go sell somebody who has already purchased supplements in the past, so I don't have to teach them the first time to take on something like a supplement. Right? I want to get an individual who is, does that make sense? Get that dream client down. Know who they are. That is step number one. Who is the dream customer? Not who could you sell to. That's a different category and usually causes a lot of angst, a lot of headaches, and they're freeloaders, right? And usually they're terrible to work with. Okay? It's just the truth. Okay, I hope we all got all thick skin here because, right? Just the truth, right? Somebody doesn't want your thing. You should not sell them, right? Do not sell people who have a need. You sell people who want it. People who have a want. So much better. Oh my gosh, such a better client and customer, okay? Okay, so that's the first thing. Number one, who the heck are you selling to? The dream person. Number two, where do they hang out? Where can you reach them? Is there a group of them that all hang out together? Maybe they all hang out on the same Facebook group. Maybe they all hang out on the same forum. Maybe they all listen to the same kind of podcasts. Maybe they all, right? Where are they? Right? Where are they? Where are they actively? Right? I am not a huge person on Instagram, but I'm actually really getting into it now. And whenever I learn something, I drop little nuggets on there. If you guys want to follow me, totally would love that. And it's been a ton of fun. It's been a ton of fun to go through and build that up. Right? But before, for quite some time, I was not actually on Instagram ever. Right? People go to the same places to consume their information. So where is your dream customer hanging out? Maybe it's an existing business owner. Well, where do all the successful existing business owners get their information from? Maybe they all subscribe to the same magazines. Maybe they'll listen to the same kinds of content. Maybe they all go to the same YouTube channels. Maybe, does that make sense? Where are they? Okay, answer that question. Who is the dream customer? Not who could you sell to, right? Who's the dream client, right? The one, just the one. It's funny, when you actually end up searching after the one, you actually get a few of the fringes. If you don't have it though, you don't get fringes or the dream customer. Okay, you get headaches and projects. Okay, I got enough projects in my life. I don't need a person as a project, right? Someone who's not figured out other things inside their life yet. Does that make sense? So, right? Number one, who's your dream customer? Number two, where are they? Where do they consume their information? And number three, what could you say to them? Or what could you give to them? Maybe it's a sample for the product. Maybe you have your own little ebook that you wrote that would serve them in their business. Maybe you have right? What's the bait? That's the question you're trying to ask. What bait do you have that will get them to come over to you? Right? Notice what I said. What will get them to come over to you? Not you go to them. What's so powerful about this is that when you reach out and you start dropping little pieces of bait that turn somebody towards you, what you're doing is it means you don't have to go through heavy and hardcore sales tactics or techniques anymore because they know. They're like, oh my gosh, Steve Larson's dropping so much crap. It's amazing stuff on his podcast. That's amazing, right? That's exactly what I'm doing, everybody, right? I'm just peeling back the curtain so you know, right? This podcast is a piece of bait and it has brought incredible people to me. Incredible people from my downline, amazing people inside my products, right? Both my personal ones and my MLM ones. Does that make sense? I hope this is making sense. What bait, what can I actually solve for them? What can I say to them? Whether it's a product or something that you're saying, or maybe your sample really is so good that when you hand it to somebody, it sells them. That rarely happens, I found out though, right? Products don't make sales. A sales message makes sales. Anyway, different topic totally. Okay. So that's number 3. So, right, who is the dream customer? Number 2, right, where are they? Number 3, what bait can I use to get them to come to me, right? So I can persuade them to come to me rather than me go convince them, right? All right, that's the benefit of using that, right? What bait? That might mean that you create something. I will tell you is one of the highest leverage things you need to go create though, okay? Don't get scared by the fact you might have to make something to answer that question, right? And then number 4, where are you trying to take them, right? Just one place, not 2. This is usually why I only sell, first of all, a product and then eventually talk about the opportunity, or I'll sell the opportunity only and then eventually talk about the product. I'll never do both at the same time. Maybe that's just personal taste, but usually the human brain can only handle one thing at once. And so anyway, does that make sense though? Just that 4-step process that will clean up a ton of stuff that you're doing in your business. It will help you identify who the best person is for your business, right? That's why I have so many amazing people, is because I've done this process so many times. I know exactly who I want in my downline. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly what bait gets them to come to me. I know where I'm taking them, right? I know where I'm taking them. I'm taking them to this beautiful place of automation and sweet, right? Funnel automation and marketing using the internet, right? And then I hand off the same systems to them. That's crazy. It's like the first actual duplicatable thing I've ever found in my life. Does that make sense? Anyway, hopefully that helps, right? That's my 4 steps to identifying, frankly, it's the 4 steps to getting my dream customer, to getting a downline that I actually like. Does that make sense? Because I know that we've all created downlines. Most of us have probably got someone in our downlines and we're like, I don't know if I like my customer, right? Just to be real with you, right? I don't know if I like my customer today, right? I don't know if I like the people on my downline right now. I don't know if I like that I have to babysit everybody and put a cattle prod to their back to get them to do anything, right? So I said, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I don't. And I did that by upgrading and getting more specific on the dream person. Now I get a few others and that's fine, right? But now there's another support system. The people that are inside my downline are rock stars, right? I'm not the only rock star in there. Everyone's a rock star, right? So when we get someone who might be struggling a little bit, there is a ton of support. Now I'm not alone. This thing's actually duplicatable. Does that make sense? That's why I crafted. That's why I did the whole thing. That's why I left my job to come do this. Because I started seeing this, putting it all together, and just doing it for these other people. And I was like, wait a second. I know I could do that. You can too. Anyway, hey guys, thanks so much. Hopefully that was effective for you. And please write those down. Number 1, who's my dream customer? Number 2, right, where are they? Number 3, what's the bait I can use to actually get them to come to me so I don't go to them? And then number 4, all right, where the heck am I going to take them? Do I want to lead them first to product? Do I want to lead them first to opportunity? Maybe it's my own third-party info product that I create. Maybe it's, right? And you start putting those things together to figure out how to actually answer that question. That one simple 4-question formula right there will drastically increase the quality of both your customer and your downline, and will start solving problems for you. Problems that you didn't know were problems, right? Because of the quality of the individual and the state of the individual who's actually coming to you now. And it has changed everything in my business, and I absolutely love it. I actually like MLM again. Does that make sense? For a long time, I know I said it too much. Does that make sense? That makes sense? I should not say it so much. But for a long time, I didn't. But I was like, ugh, MLM, am I serious? I really got to do this again? Network marketing, direct selling, whatever you want to call it, right? I like MLM again, and it's because of the way that I treat this process. Guys, thanks so much. Appreciate it. If you've not had a chance to check out secretmlmhacks.com, please go do so. Would love to have you on that free web class there. It'll teach you the 3-step system I use to automate my my recruiting. Right, it's the 3 steps I use to auto recruit my downline without my friends and family even knowing that I'm in MLM. Guys, thanks you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Whether you just want more leads or automated MLM funnels, or if you just want to learn to get paid more for your product, head over to secretmlmhacks.com to join the next free training today.